What it do? It's your girl Zen with another episode of ClosedWon. I hope you are all enjoying our mini series with Josh Gillespie. Today we are going up market and we will cover how to get buy-ins from a steering committee with mid-market and enterprise accounts. Enjoy. Peace. You know, everyone's saying the buyer journey has changed, which it has because there's so much information out there. Chances are they already know who you are before they actually reach out to you.
Changes every day, I'm sure. Yep.
Yeah, they're just vetting you, and it's the account executive or the consultant's job, or I guess we're kind of doctors in a way. We're figuring out, diagnosing their problems, and then providing some kind of prescription. The person that does it the best, those guys are going to sign up with them. And so moving from SMB to
let's call it upmarket.
Yeah, let's go upmarket. So why don't you share your guiding principles?
I think I needed some guiding principles to help with the psychological, I'll call it the psychological impact of going from high velocity inbound, right? Where I had like 100 inbound leads just like landing in my plate every day. And I could kind of like cherry pick and choose for a couple of years, call the hottest ones, basically the ones that are raising their hands saying, hey, I really like what you have. Like, please call me back. I'm really interested in buying.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a luxury, right? In the SMB space, a lot of businesses are operating, right? You should have good marketing teams that bring MQLs, that become SQLs. Maybe you have an SDR all in place even before it gets to the AE. And so again, you have to kind of realize in a situation like that, it's set up to be conducive to your success. And so the psychological impact of going from that to like upmarket named accounts, where here's 20 accounts that we have as a company that have expansion potential, more than 200 employees, full adoption of our application currently, but in some limited scope. That was a tough switch, right? Because now it's like I'm staring at 20 accounts, and in my CRM that just doesn't look like a whole lot to work with when you're getting 100 inbound leads otherwise. And so, you know, it's tough because you have to ramp basically an upmarket sales cycle from an existing account. Now, it's good and bad. You have a lot of good things to work with if they're your existing customer. If not, again, you have to switch your style completely and get a POC or get across the line with that steering committee, which could take like a whole year, right? As we know, like from starting a sales cycle from cold, like outbound, to getting a steering committee to make a recommendation to the C-suite that they move forward, and even like some small capacity, I know that could take up to a year. So it's really important that I focus all of my activities on just my top end, my top priority activities that are going to have the greatest potential impact on any individual sale within those like 20 named accounts. So
real quick. Yeah, just one thing with recommendation. You're right. There is a lot of people that we have to get a buy-in from. But with this point on recommendation, what are some of your tips to have a champion, or maybe someone who doesn't really like your platform? What is your tip to get a recommendation for those two types of use cases?
If you don't recognize in your heart that someone like loves your product and is really going to go back to you and almost put their job on the line for your product, you need to get out of that sales cycle. It's not going to happen for you, because at the end of the day, that's what you need, is someone in a boardroom with the CEO and a suite of other people to stand up, because you're not going to be there. Most likely you're not going to be there unless you're flying around the world and really closing $1 million deals. You're not going to be in that room with that steering committee. So you need more than a champion. We think of it, or I think of it as an evangelist, someone who's like, I believe in Panadoc, or I believe in this product. It's new to market. It's not maybe enterprise grade, but this is what they're doing differently, and we can make an investment here that in 3 years we'll do this. And so you definitely need to build somebody up like well beyond what we would even think of as a typical champion. Someone that's like, yes, like thinks of it as an initiative that they're going to get credit for, and if it goes well, they'll get promoted. And that's kind of how I build up evangelists is like, hey, like I'm going to work with you directly, and it's going to be a super soft approach. I'm not going to ask for some huge financial commitment from you. I'm not going to have you put your neck on the line. But what I do want you to do is to devote a good amount of time to making sure this application works at some small scope, stand up for it to your steering committee, get it bought and across the line, and then I'll build you up and add a whole lot of value. And I've seen people get promoted and then that's how we get land and expand, because then that evangelist becomes the project owner, right? Who ultimately also then has commercial decision making over time too. So that's what we've seen. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
No.